Hello and welcome, everyone. Are you an energy healer or a spiritual worker learning more so that you can broaden your practice? Or maybe you're a spiritual seeker, just trying to absorb all the knowledge you can about energy work and how it all works. Or maybe you're just starting out. You're interested in energy work, but you are trying to get the straight goods on how it works without all the mystical language, the touchy-feely stuff that gives us all a bad rap. Well, in that case, you've come to the right place. Welcome to my show, Spirituality Meets Science. I'm your host, Renu Arora, and I'm a co-creator of an energy healing modality called the trigger release method. Using that methodology, I help my clients overcome emotional, mental, and even physical problems by identifying the underlying root triggers that are causing them and releasing those from the subconscious. And to my clients, it looks and feels like magic. But like any good magic trick, once you understand exactly how it works and you really get a feel for what's going on, you realize that there's no magic in there at all. And that with a little bit of understanding and a little bit of study, you can learn to create that same magic for yourselves. So why am I here? I am here to make energy work accessible and understandable for everybody. I'm here to tell you it's not just for those rare few born with that innate gift who to know what it's all about. So if you're ready to be empowered with new knowledge and understanding about how the field of energy work really works, then I'd like to introduce you to today's topic. So today we are discussing EFT, the emotional freedom technique. And what we're going to be doing today is covering what EFT is, how it works, and what it's used for, and how you can do this for yourself. Now, before we get any further, I'd really like to welcome all of my viewers today. So I'm so glad you can make it here. If you can see that there's a chat box, if you have any questions about EFT as we go along, anything you'd like to ask my guest today, then please write those questions in the chat box, and we'll do our best to answer them as we go. And one more thing, I just wanted to remind you that after the show, I like to ask a viewer I do a demonstration of the trigger release method for a viewer who might want to know what it's all about. So stick around to the end of the show. If you're someone who'd like to have this done and give it a try, then put that in the chat box too, and you might be the lucky one that gets picked. So without further ado, I'd really like to introduce my guest today. My first guest is Ara Good. She is an accredited emotional freedom technique practitioner and massage therapist. She helps people find balance and ease in their bodies, hearts, and bank accounts by using various techniques, including emotional freedom techniques, Akashic records, massage therapy, craniosacral therapy, and acupuncture. Wow, that is quite the combination of things, and I'm really curious to know what that bank account reference was, or at least I know my audience is. So, Ara, why don't you expand a little bit more about what you do, where you practice, and tell us about yourself.
Perfect. Thanks, Renu. So I love to work with women who are generally, when they come to see me, they've tried everything to kind of find balance in their lives. And the money reference comes into, that's what I was really struggling with when I came across EFT. And it's a really common struggle. It's a really common struggle for people to feel chronic stress around their bills, feel like they're not having enough, feel like money's always flying out the door. There's all these different beliefs that we've kind of grown up with. And it creates a picture in our adult lives that we never seem to be able to get ahead. So working with EFT allows us to access the subconscious and get to kind of the root cause of why we're struggling.
Okay, getting a little bit ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
We're going to get to that in a minute. I'm just going to introduce our second guest today. Ms. Frances Burke works with mothers of children with with exam anxiety at school who are concerned not only about their child performing better in school, but also about what the stress and anxiety are doing to their health. So welcome, Fran, to the show. Tell us a little bit more about where you work and just about you in general.
Thank you, Renu. I work with parents who have children who experience exam anxiety. I'm a former teacher guidance counselor who, ashamedly, during the time that I was working, was unaware of the extent to which students suffered from exam anxiety. It was only after I left teaching that I became aware of the issues that students and parents have around exams, and felt that I was in a position where I could work with them because of my background, not only in life skills training, but also in a modality called brain gym, polarity therapy, and hypnosis, and ultimately emotional freedom techniques. I think emotional freedom techniques is one of the most powerful tools we can use, both for ourselves and for others, to help overcome the issues that they face on a daily basis.
Oh, that's great. Wow, that's quite a niche, and that's really cool. That's as a mother of kids too, I know I see that kind of stuff in schools. It's pretty extraordinary. I think that's wonderful work you do. And last but not least, I'd like to introduce Nicole Tomingas. She's been studying and practicing EFT for over 4 years. She is an accredited certified EFT practitioner and certified emotional success coach. She works with clients virtually or in person at a wellness center in King City, where she provides a client-focused, results-based approach for personal development. Welcome to the show, Nicole. Again, like the others, if you would tell us a little bit more about your practice and where you work.
Yeah, so thank you for having me. And my passion is actually work with business moms. And I provide a space for them where they can come and unwind and have a safe space to talk about the things that are going on in their lives. And normally we'll be talking about managing stress, what's stressful. We wear so many hats these days as moms, and also if we're working as well. There's a lot going on. So stress is a big thing in my practice, as well as I help them move through changes like guilt and fear. And I help them implement self-care practices daily. And also, just working with all these different things to help them find more peace and happiness and balance in their lives. I'm a mom myself. I have 2 girls, a 17-year-old and an almost 8-year-old. So I really enjoy spending time with them. And I also love music and nature and staying healthy myself.
That's awesome. Thank you, Nicole. So briefly, before we get on to the discussion of EFT today, I'm going to take a second to talk about practitioner news. So I've been talking about this for the last few weeks because I'm so very excited. In a week and a day, I will be doing a practitioner training workshop. It's not too late to join if you're interested in learning to do what it is that I do. You can go to my website, healfromyourpast.com. You can find out all the information about the workshop, register there, and yeah, we can make it happen. If you don't yet know what I do and you want a demo, remember to stick around till the end of the show, and you'll get to have a little taste of it there. And yeah, and if you want to see more demos, then just watch some of the older shows because I've done one with every show so far. So now, as said, we are going to be talking about today EFT. And I'll just put my name up there too. I am Renu, in case we've forgotten. So EFT, emotional freedom technique. So this is it's interesting. My experience with EFT is I've seen it around for a long time. The name seems to pop up in energy circles a lot, but it's funny that in my experience, the people I know don't have any idea how it works. And it has sounded really fascinating. So I'm really excited to learn a bit more about it, because like I've seen demonstrations and people will walk us through a few of the steps, and we know it works because we see it happen, but it still, I can't explain it. And you know me in this show, it's all about explaining it. It's all about finding out the why and wherefore. So so I'm thrilled to be talking about this topic today, and having 3 guests to really get into it. And the combined expertise on this show today is going to be pretty astounding. So I'm looking forward to that. The first question: what is EFT? Somebody tell me what the emotional freedom technique is.
So I'll take that, Renu. It's Fran here.
Okay, go for it.
Emotional EFT actually stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques, and it's a form of energy psychology. It's a marrying of the acupuncture system of the East with Western talk therapy. It originated actually with Dr. Roger Callahan, a psychologist out of the United States, who was looking for ways to help his clients because he wasn't happy with what was happening between him and them at the time. And so he was looking for other ways to help his clients, and he started to research the energy meridian systems of the East. Everything came together for him one day when he was working with a client he had had for a year. And his client's name was Mary, and she had a terrible phobia of water. So much so that she was unable to bathe. One day she was sitting by his pool with her feet actually dangling in the water. And the fear was welling up in her, and she felt a lot of discomfort in her stomach. And Roger, having studied a bit of the energy meridian system already, knew that there was a meridian point that was related to the stomach.
Oh.
He asked Mary to tap on that meridian point, and lo and behold, the discomfort in her stomach disappeared. And at the same time, so did the phobia. Now keep in mind that he had been working with her for a year up until this point, but that last piece brought the resolution to her issue, and she no longer was afraid of water. After Roger Callahan started to teach a system that he created, one of his students named Gary Craig took his program and developed from that emotional freedom techniques, which allowed him to simplify the system for both professionals and non-professionals alike, so that it was not only easy to learn, but also easy to use. So it's combining gentle touch, using your fingers, and tapping on points on the hand and head and upper body, while at the same time vocalizing and focusing on a pressing issue that is causing discomfort in your life. And what happens in this process is that a neutralization of the issue takes place and a new understanding is brought about. There's a lot of evidence to show the efficacy of emotional freedom techniques just from the anecdotal information we're getting from people who are practicing it, both as professionals, but also as non-professionals. The scientific community is beginning to catch up and to be able to prove that what is happening in these anecdotal stories are actually scientifically recognizable in the body. And in that way, the beauty of it is that emotional freedom techniques will become mainstream, not just for non-professionals, but for professionals as well.
That is so cool.
Isn't that cool?
That is, that I've never heard that description. Like that's like, and I've seen, like, I've done the science behind a lot of, like, all these different modalities. That is the best description of a scientific understanding that I have seen yet. That is the coolest thing I've ever heard. That's awesome.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah. All right. That is did anybody have anything they wanted to add to that? Because I don't know how you could, but if you want to add to that. That is brilliant. Okay.
Good job.
I mean, my next question would have been, how does it work? Is there anything that you can add on to that? Is that
Well, yeah. So I'm going to add a couple of things to that.
There is? Okay.
Yeah, because I think the way my brain perceives it is EFT works in a few different ways. And there are structures throughout our body which are actually, they have piezoelectric characteristics, which means that with mechanical stimulation, so touching or tapping or hitting, you know, if you bang your shin into the coffee table, that's a major piezoelectric mechanical stimulation. And so piezoelectric is when there's mechanical stimulation, it actually creates an electrical charge. And then that electrical charge flows through that structure and actually flows a lot faster than even nerve conduction. So when we're tapping on acupuncture points, we're including the body and we are manually stimulating points. And so that's actually causing an electrical or energetic shift in the system. And so with that, what's been found with EFT is Dawson Church did an interesting study, and he just had people tap on their points. Just tapping on points, no talking. And what he found was that within 10 minutes, the average person in the control group had a decrease in their cortisol, which is their stress hormone. The average drop was 24%, with some people dropping as much as 50% in 10 minutes, which is huge.
Wild.
So it's amazing. It is wild. And so you're actually causing a hormonal shift as well. So we have energetic, we also have kind of a physical change happening. And then what happens is when in EFT, when we're in a session and we're generally pairing our tapping with something, an event or situation that's upsetting or irritating to us. So there's a level of, like Fran was mentioning, intensity at the emotional level. And so as we tap, we're actually calming our nervous systems. And you get to a point where you notice your intensity coming down, 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 until you really are neutral. And when you get neutral, then you're able to go, oh, maybe that's not, you know, the original way I was thinking about it is not actually the truth. Maybe that had nothing to do with me. Maybe I'm willing to kind of let that go. And so that's the process of EFT. So it really covers emotional, physical, and energetic.
Nice. Nice. That is really neat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now that everybody's heard of what it is, how do you do it for yourself? How do you actually do EFT? Who wants to fill that for me?
I'll take that one. So what Ara was explaining before is just tapping around the points. There's 9 tapping points in the basic EFT recipe. So there's what's called the karate chop. I don't know if everyone can see that on the side of the hand there. And you just take a couple fingers and you lightly tap in the area 5 to 7 times approximately. And I'll just show you all the sequence. And then there is the point where your eyebrow starts on the bone. And then the side of the eye, again, lightly on the bone. And then underneath the eye, again, on the bone under there. And then we have under the nose. And we have on the chin. And then we have the collarbone, so just slightly under the bone. And then we have under the arm, kind of where the bra would sit. And the last point is on the crown of the head. And just again, lightly tapping. So what someone could do is, I'm going to call it bronze tapping, bronze level tapping. And what that is if someone's just upset and knows even some of the points, if something stressful or upset has happened, they can just not even use words, just kind of go around those points and to interrupt the stress response going on in the body. The second level is silver level tapping. And what you would do then is continue the tapping, but then you're putting words to it. For example, you got an upsetting call. So, I'm really upset. I'm really upset. I got a terrible call, and, I was having a great day, and now I'm really upset. I'm upset that they told me that. And so that's silver tapping. So we're just it's on the surface. We're not diving into the whole issue. That's an important piece. Also with silver tapping, you can be using tapping scripts, either through an audio script or written, which will be just general words around a certain event or situation, for example, weight loss. And the other thing you can be doing is group tapping, where someone's kind of leading a group through a general issue, and you can also benefit from that as well. The final one is gold level tapping. That is where you actually work with a certified practitioner who holds the space for the clients. And we get really specific by focusing in on all the aspects of the issue. So again, what that would look like quickly would be that, there's a lot of curious questioning happening by the practitioner to kind of get all the bits and pieces that fit together. It's like a puzzle. And so then the client is following along, tapping with the practitioner while we're cognitively focusing on the issue and all the aspects that come along with that issue. And the practitioner is trained to actually go deep into what the issue is, rather than staying on the surface with bronze or silver tapping. So there's an importance there and a big difference. We're also looking for emotional crescendos, and and we're trained to carry a client through that whole process and have them grounded at the end as well.
Neat. That is so cool. Okay. All right. Thank you. So what would a client normally experience during a session?
Okay. So all of us, the three of us here, are actually all trained under NEFTI, which is the National EFT Training Institute. And our sessions are usually done either virtually or in person, and they're usually about an hour long. And during the time, we're actually co-creating the sessions with our clients, which means the clients are free to interject at any time. It's a really wonderful relationship, and it's free flowing. And we usually start with a check-in to make sure the client is, what we say, in the room. Sometimes people will come in pretty stressed. They've had a rough day or a rough week. So there are techniques we even use to kind of get them in the chair so they can do some work. And then we love to celebrate successes in our model. So that's a big thing, because a lot of time we're almost like they're our cheerleaders for our clients. They can come in and tell us all the awesome stuff that's going on, and we're thrilled for them. And it's a really great space to do that in, because we find that people don't often celebrate enough, even the small little things. So keeping them in that space. We do vision setting as well, because we know where we are, but where do we want to go? What's that end result? What are we looking for? And I think the important thing too is we actually are always rating how we're feeling. So we have a scale. We work between 1 and 10. 1, or actually 0 and 10. 0 would be feeling nothing at all, and 10 is running screaming out of the room, can't handle the situation. So we're always taking gauges of where we are at the start of session with the issues or event or situation, and then we're also checking in to see where those numbers are. So sometimes they go up a little bit with intensity, and that's okay. And often they will actually go down and down and down, which is kind of neat. And so what the nitty-gritty part is, the practitioner helps focus in on that event or issue or situation. It's kind of like a tabletop. So you see the top of the table is the issue, and then it'll have legs underneath it. Well, there can be a lot of legs attached to that tabletop, and we call those aspects of, and we call it a pyramid of aspects, actually. And so, for example, you can have one tabletop and you might have 50 legs underneath it, because each leg represents something. For example, an emotion, one of the 5 senses. It could represent pain, images, metaphors, dreams. We talk about thoughts, beliefs, perceptions, interpretations, conclusions, decisions, even behavior such as resisting, avoiding, fears, even cravings. So all of that can be under a tabletop. And that's what we're trained to kind of go in and discuss and work and move through. So we do that, and then we ground out at the end of session, and we're done.
Sounds like it can get pretty complicated, but still
The
pretty
importance
exciting.
of a practitioner, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Another question: is there anyone who shouldn't use EFT? Like any contraindications for this?
Hi, Renu. I'm going to do this one. I've lost my camera, but can you
Still hear you.
Okay.
And it's a lovely picture.
Okay, good. Thanks. You know, if you're thinking about doing EFT, you want to really take responsibility for your health and safety. And so I would be hesitant if there is a history of epilepsy or traumatic brain injury. That's something that you would want to go to your doctor and discuss with them first. Also, like generally, the 3 of us here, we're not mental health practitioners. So we are generally not working with clients who have a history of mental health disorders. If there is, you know, PTSD, if there is a lot of childhood trauma, if someone has clinical depression, we would not be the first person that they would go to. Now, that being said, we all do, because we were trained similarly, we were trained in the same place, we all do a complimentary consultation with people who think that they might be interested in doing this work. And it's during that process that we actually get into, okay, what is their background? What's their history? What have they been through? Has there been, you know, prior problems? And if we feel like we are not the best equipped professional to work with them, then we always refer out. And the cool thing now is we're seeing mental health practitioners learning EFT. So we have, you know, there's more psychologists and psychiatrists and social workers who are actually learning this to add to their toolbox, so they can work with people who maybe, you know, you just need to have a little bit more skill in working with people who have mental health disorders. Yeah.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know this was a long discussion. Usually we're ending about now, but I had one last question, which I think the audience wants to answer. And I know, Ara, you can't stay too late, so I'm going to ask you to answer first. And if you've got to go, then I'll let you go. But the last one is just so that people getting a broad sense of what people would use EFT for.
Yeah. Renu, the cool thing about EFT is that it's kind of limited by your imagination. So I originally took a training in EFT because I just didn't understand how it worked, because it did kind of make me feel calmer if I was feeling stressed out. But what really blew my mind in that course, I remember the moment where my instructor said, you can clear your money blocks. And I was like, what? So that was a biggie for me, because that was such a stressful area in my life. But there are people using it for all sorts of different things, weight loss, cravings, stress, you know, so many different avenues that you can be using it for.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And I know, Fran, you use it for exam anxiety. Any other particular groups that you like to work with or have seen, experienced, that you want to share with us?
Thanks, Renu. beauty about emotional freedom techniques is that we can really dive down into the very subtle negative self-talk that oftentimes goes along with our daily lives, and how often we are very self-critical and hard on ourselves without even being really aware of it. And so I work with people, not only students, but with anyone who would like to free themselves of that negative self-talk, which keeps us limited in what we're capable of doing and having the energy we wish to have and the self-love that is possible. And it's generally speaking that those voices from our childhood that we picked up along the way. The other thing that I like to work with is also the whole area of overwhelm. We are so, there's so much in our lives that can create this overwhelm that we just don't know where to start and where to end. And students are particularly affected by overwhelm because of all the demands that are placed on them, as well as the parents. The last one is self-sabotage, because oftentimes we will do things with the intention of wanting to have some success, but everything we do takes us in the opposite direction. And so looking at what is it that we're doing and why are we doing that, and it's usually at the base of it is some kind of fear or limiting belief. So I love to work in those areas, Renu. Very, very helpful to release ourselves of those so that we can be not only have more energy, but a greater sense of health and well-being.
Wonderful. And Nicole, did you have any special areas you like to work with or stories to share?
Yeah, well, I mean, the reason why I love to work with other moms is because when mom is in a good place, the whole family benefits. The kids, the partner, everyone is happier. If mom's happy, everyone's happier, usually in the household. So I just always like to come back to self. It's about self-awareness, self-acceptance. What's my role in this? What's my part or my piece? That I find really helpful with myself and also with my clients. And also it's about building resistance in the system so that we can handle the ups and downs of life instead of, like a seesaw when it's going severely up and down. Instead, maybe like, how about we live here? A little more balanced, a little more easygoing. I mean, like we can't stop, the tough things in life from happening, but how do we build resistance in our system so we can handle it if and when it happens? Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, that is pushing the edge of our usual time for the show, but that's okay. It's the internet. I don't have a program after this I have to worry about. So thank you all so much for being here. It was such a great discussion, and wow, I learned so much today. So just really quickly, I'm going to give you guys a chance to give us a few last minute thoughts or words you want to give us. And please let us know how we can reach you. So if anyone wants to have a session with you, then let us know the best way to get in touch. So Ara, do you want to do that first?
Yeah. Thanks, Renu. Absolutely. I will give you my website because my contact information is on there. And so It's my name. It's Ara Good. It's ARAGOOD.com. And you can reach me there, and there are articles there about what I do, and there's a little, blurb if you want to know more about me, and definitely feel free to contact me if you'd like more information.
And she has a great newsletter. I love receiving your newsletter.
Thanks. Thanks, honey.
Okay, and Fran?
Yes, you can reach me at my website, www.howtoendexamanxiety.com, and it's based on the title of my book with the same intention to support parents, students, and teachers to reduce the levels of stress that students feel. And I think that flies under the radar far too much in our system.
Mm-hmm. That's wonderful. Okay. And again, Nicole.
Okay, so people can reach me at my website, so www.nicoletomingas.ca. So that's NicoleTomingas.ca. Also there you'll find my Mindful Mom blog that a lot of moms find it really helpful and practical and useful. So yeah, I'd love to hear from you.
Wonderful. Okay, so that wraps up today's topic. Next week, we are going to be discussing the accelerated release technique. I'm not going to tell you any more about that one right now, but that's a topic that's near and dear to my heart. So please join me for that one. And if you enjoyed the show, if you like what I'm doing and want to see some more of this really cool stuff, then head over to my website and sign up for my newsletter. Again, healfromyourpast.com. You can get the newsletter. That'll let you know when these shows are coming out. Follow me on Facebook. I also publicize upcoming shows there. Share this with your friends. Let everybody know that this is what we're doing, so we can continue to bring this wonderful knowledge and empowerment to everybody. And that is the end of our show. Now, I do promise every week that I will do a trigger release demonstration. We've still got some viewers out there. I don't know if anybody is interested in being my subject of today. We would do it utilizing the chat. If nobody mentions anything, then I'm going to assume that my viewers are shy. And would either of you, if nobody steps up, would either of you be willing to be a subject today? Or if you're shy, you don't have to. It's okay. It just means I won't do one today.
How long? What's involved and how long is it?
It might take like 15-20 minutes, something like that. And okay, well, the way the trigger release method works is it's a modality where let's explain it differently. The way I normally would do it is if I had a session, if a person was coming in to solve a problem. I also can deal with physical, emotional, mental problems as well. Same kind of idea, but I get to it in a different way. So ideally, the subconscious is talking to us all the time. So let's say a person has, we'll say anxiety about something, a fear of spiders. We'll just grab that one out of nowhere. So if they have this fear of spiders, then chances are, well, no, absolutely, their subconscious is trying to send them a message. That fear it's like the flashing light on your answering machine. It's only there to let you know that there is a message underneath. And what I do is I actually go in and find out what the message is. So it could be an event that took place, a life event. It could be a belief that you're hanging on to. It could be some stuck emotion. It could actually be a whole big pile of stuff. Like you talked about the multiple legs under the table. That's how any problem is. It can have a whole lot of legs. That would be a session. But what I do for a demonstration is I flip that whole concept on its head. So instead of saying, okay, here's your problem, let's find out what event took place, I would instead ask your subconscious straight out if it's got an event that it would like to release and resolve. So is there something, is there some message it's been trying to get your attention about, but you haven't noticed the signal? You haven't actually seen that flashing light, so you haven't gone in to address it. So basically, we would just go in and find out if there's an event that is seeking resolution, and we resolve it. The nice thing about the way this, like, I know this is a public forum, but you don't actually have to share anything because it's all subconscious. So I would give you some clues. I'd give you an age range, and you would just think about it and say, yeah, okay, yeah, I can see something like that. Like if it's something you don't want to discuss, you don't have to.
Okay, so there's that option.
There's absolutely that option. You don't need to tell me anything at all about what's going on. You just need to share with me, just like what you do about the intensity of emotion associated with something. That's what I would do. I just say, well, you still feel something, or is it neutral? I don't do a number scale, although I like the idea of a number scale. That I might implement, but that's essentially how it works. So, what do you think? Would you be willing to be a subject for me today? You got a few extra minutes?
I've got something. Yeah.
You got something?
Unless, Fran, unless you wanted to.
Absolutely, I'll watch.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
So I use to connect with my subject. I use a pendulum. Have you ever?
Oh yeah.
Sorry?
Very familiar. Yes.
All right, you're familiar with a pendulum. Perfect. So my pendulum, and we'll try and put this in a place where you can see it, but it's a little tricky because it might just hit me in the face. So when my pendulum wants to say yes, it goes front to back. For a no, it gives me a counterclockwise circle, and those are probably the things that you're going to see the most of. If it slows down or stops, it means there's drama. The idea being that your ego wants to stay in the adventure. It doesn't want to deal with it. It's trying to cloud the situation, and we have to clear out some junk so that we can actually get into the situation that's underneath. Okay, but the first thing I've got to do is ask if I can connect with you, Nicole. And my pendulum says, yeah, I can see you out there. All right. The next thing I ask is, do I have permission to ask, like to connect with all elements of your unconscious? So we got subconscious and unconscious, or conscious and unconscious, physical and spiritual, and across the timeline. It's saying no, but that's okay because that's pretty normal. We don't generally go out in public giving everybody access to whatever's inside. So it's just filtering through. It's now turning around. Yeah. So now I've got permission to ask the questions that I need to ask. So thank you very much. Now I'm just going to ask, can we have access to the most important or significant life event seeking acknowledgement or seeking to be released? And it's swinging nice and high, so it's got something for me. All right. So first, is there any drama around this event? Says there's no drama. Is your ego in balance where this event is concerned? Okay, so your ego's like, yeah, okay, we can deal with this. I was working on somebody the other day and I forgot to ask the ego about drama. Actually, I didn't even know I needed to. And I was getting so much nonsense because the ego actually didn't want me to talk about that event. So it was giving so many roadblocks and so many weird answers and everything. It took a while for me to realize what I'd missed. But your ego's okay with it. Again, there's no drama around it. So let's get some clues. How many clues are going to help us figure out what this life event is? Is it 1 clue? No. 2? No. 3? No. 4? Okay, so 4 clues. So it's basically like we are, it's like we're describing the scene in a movie.
Yep.
So we'll find out who was involved, what everybody was feeling, and that'll help. We're going to paint a picture of something a memory that you'll be able to pull out of it. So 4 clues. Are any of the clues in column A? No. Column B, C, D. And is there some drama around the clues? There we go. We got some drama. Demand this drama be released and collapse the timeline around the drama. Is there any more drama around these clues? No. All right. So again, how many clues are there? Is it 1, 2, 3, 4? Okay, it still says 4 clues. Balance. So the first of the 4 clues is in column A. Column B. Okay, column. Nah, there's still some drama. Oh, it lied. Okay, there's more drama. In order to release this drama, is there a lesson to anchor? Nope. Core belief to release? Nope. Other emotions, beliefs, or attitudes? Yes. Is there drama around any of those? I demand this drama be released and collapse the timeline around it. Any more drama? No. Do we have to identify these emotions? Yes. 1, 2. Okay. So essentially, I can't get to the event because there's a couple of emotions that are clouding it. So we just got to clear the emotions out, and then we can get in. So first emotion is in column A. 1 through 10, 11 through 20, 21 through 30, 21 through 25, 21, 22, 26, 27. Okay, A25. Let me grab my clues list. Depression. That's the first emotion. The second one's in column A, column B, column C. There's drama around this, isn't there? Demand this drama be released and collapse the timeline around this drama. Any more drama? Okay. Is that second emotion there? No. So it was just the first, it was just the depression. Okay. So we release that, and then all other emotions release their attitudes, creating this drama. Is there any more drama? Nope. All right. So now, do we have access to the life event? Okay. How many clues will help us figure it out? Is it 1 clue? 2 clues? Okay. It's only 2 clues. The first clue is in column A. Yes, 1 through 10, 11 through 20, 21 through 30, 21 through 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay, A30 is disappointed. So our first clue is disappointed. The second clue is in column A. No, column B, C, D, 1 through 10, 11 through 20, 21 through 30, 21 through 25, 21. Sorry, column D. Drama. Demand the drama be released and collapse the timeline around the drama. Is there any more drama here? Okay. There's still a second clue. Is it just the 1 clue? Okay, what's going on? Is the ego in balance? Nope, the ego went out of balance. I knew I was going to get one of these today. All right, what's keeping your ego out of balance? So those, a lesson to anchor, core belief to release, other emotions release their attitudes. Yes. Is there drama here? I demand the drama be released and collapse the timeline around. Any more drama? Okay, is your ego in balance yet? No. Okay, this is something external? No, something internal. An inside influence. A part. Okay, hang on. Internal? Oh, sorry. Lesson. Core belief. An emotion. Challenge. An obstacle. That's what it is. An obstacle. There's drama around the obstacle. No. Is it 1 obstacle? Oh, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13 obstacles. In order to release these 13 obstacles, is there a lesson to anchor? Core belief to release. Other emotion, belief, or attitude. An influence, yes. Outside. Inside. Heart. Oh, finally we're getting somewhere. An engaged part. Disengaged. Engaged. It's safe for this part to embrace wholeness. Yes, for it to embrace and hold us. Is there a lesson to anchor? There we go. Core belief to release. Other emotion, belief, or attitude. Is there drama around the lesson? Is it 1 lesson? All right. 1 lesson. 2. 2 lessons. Okay, the first lesson is 1 through 20, 21 through 40, 21 through 30, 21 through 25, 26, 27, 28, 27. Okay, finally we're getting something. All right, so all this drama, before I even get to it, there's a couple of lessons that need to be anchored first. Okay. So it's like you've got some life lessons which need to be fully embraced. Okay, do you have to read this whole lesson aloud? Okay, I have to read this one aloud for you. Okay, this one says, be humble. Humility opens more doors than aggression. To push something or someone in life creates an instant response to rebalance that energetic motion by being instantly pushed back. Why set something in motion that subsequently will have to be resolved or brought to rest? To resist the urge of your ego to demonstrate your strength or authority over a situation or individual shows levels of confidence, self-worth, and honoring within. To be humble does not mean to sit back and allow others to walk over you. To be humble in this reference is to be modest and respectful of the rights and beliefs of others. It is about knowing how to allow others their moment while giving yourself permission to stand strong in your own beliefs when needed. Be a support for others when asked. Ask for support when you are in need. Do this without comparison, judgment, or even comment. Being humble is not about denying self, just being secure and balanced enough within to allow others the same respect for wherever they find themselves on their path. Okay, is there still another lesson that needs to be anchored? No. So now I have these parts: embraced wholeness. No. Is there still a lesson? Core belief, other emotion, belief, or attitude. Challenge, obstacle, influence, outside influence, inside influence. Oh, okay. To detach these inside influences, there a lesson to anchor, core beliefs released, other emotion, belief, or attitude. There's some drama there. Then the drama be released and clap the timeline. No drama there. You have to identify these. Okay, release these on behalf of these inside influences and detach these inside influences and release them in love and light. I have these parts now very full. All right, with that, are there any more obstacles? Nope. Is the ego now in balance? Okay, the ego is now in balance. Now can I please get to this life event? Okay, so how many clues? Is disappointed still one of the clues? No. Okay, how many clues are there? 1, 2 clues. Again, is there drama around this life event? Okay, so 2 clues. First clue, column A. 1 through 10, 1 through 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. Okay. Finally, not getting false clues anymore. A3. Oh, aggression. Well, that makes sense with that other one being there. So aggression. Second clue, column A, B, C. 1 through 10, 1 through 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's drama around the second clue. Demand the drama be released and clap the timeline around this drama. Any more drama there? Okay. There's still a second clue. Is it in column A? 1 through 10, 11 through 20, 21 through 30, 31. Oh my goodness. Still drama? Is there still a second clue? It's just the one clue. Oh my goodness gracious. So that's all we needed was the one clue. And the clue was aggression.
Okay.
Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. So we got the clue. Any more drama around this event? Okay. When did this take place? Was it during adulthood? No. Was it before the age of 15? Yes. Before the age of 10? No. Age 10, 11, 12, 11. Okay. Age 11. The only clue I've got is aggression.
Okay.
Okay. Does anything spring to mind, or do I need to think of, like, find out who was involved?
I think I have something in mind.
Okay. You do?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now we'll use your terminology. When you think about the event, the assumption is that there's going to be some emotions associated with it, right? Like if you can think about it, there's got to be something that you feel about that event. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So how strong is that on a 0 to 10?
I would say it's about a 3.
It's about a 3? Okay, that's not that strong. Okay.
It's not, because it's an event I've worked on.
Okay. All right.
I think there's still leftover pieces
left. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So in order to release that, because we want that to be a 0, in order to release that event entirely, first, is there a contract associated? Okay. In order to release it, is there a lesson that needs to be anchored? No. A core belief to release? No. Another emotion, belief, or attitude to release? No. Is there a challenge, an obstacle, an influence? Yes. An outside influence? No. Inside influence? No. Part? Yes. Okay. Engaged part? No. Disengaged part? Yes. Okay, interesting. So basically, and I'll explain it because you do this kind of work. So what have you heard of the term inner child or inner children?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this might be something that all right. Now, I don't know if you use the same terminology that I do, but my understanding of inner children is, okay, well, the work I've got, there are lots of different kinds of stuck energy. So one of them is life events. Other ones are stuck emotions or stuck beliefs or stuck, unanchored lessons. Like these are all things that in my work get released. An inner child is another form of stuck energy, but that's energy that takes on the characteristics of an age, like at the age at which the trauma occurred. Okay. So that's why you might see like a 30, 40, 50-year-old having a temper tantrum, and you look at me and go, oh my God, are you 4? Right? They suddenly behave like this little kid. It's because they were triggered. Like essentially there was an inner child that was triggered, and all of a sudden they are exhibiting the characteristics of that little kid. But I actually don't use the term inner child. I use the term part, because I found that they can be created beyond childhood. This form of stuck energy can happen at any point in a person's life. So I use the word part. So what's happened is the reason that you haven't been able to get rid of that last thing is it's because it's an inner child energy that's been holding on to the remaining part of the trauma. So for this part to become engaged and embrace wholeness, can we do this all at one shot? No. For it to become engaged first, is there a lesson to anchor? No. A core belief to release? Yes. Other emotions, beliefs, or attitudes? No. Is there drama around the core belief? No. Is it one core belief? Yes. Is it a 1 through 20, 21 through 40, 41 through 50, 41 through 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 48. Okay, so this part has taken on a belief and it's still holding it. And this was established at that time. I said it was belief number 48. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the belief, and then I'm going to read the opposite. So essentially, we're giving you, the part, something to shift to. So we're giving the positive way of looking at it, so it can release the old belief and embrace the new belief. So the old belief says, I am so afraid of making the wrong decision. It is easier to never set any goals so that I will never be a disappointment. And the opposite of that is, by not setting and achieving goals, I'm only disappointing myself. The number of decisions I'm allowed to make in life is without limit. If my first choice fails to satisfy my needs, then I can easily choose a new course of action. It is my life to live, and it is entirely up to me to make it the best that I can. It hasn't completely shifted yet, so I'm just going to read it one more time. Okay. By not setting and achieving goals, I am only disappointing myself. The number of decisions I'm allowed to make in life is without limit. If my first choice fails to satisfy my needs, then I can easily choose a new course of action. It is my life to live, and it is entirely up to me to make it the best I can. Okay, so that's shifted now. So have these parts now, are they now engaged? All right, so it's, what is that? I'm on the right track, or they're still shifting? Okay, we're now engaged. Okay, sorry, the shift just took an extra second. Now, is it safe for them to embrace wholeness? No. For them to be safe and embrace wholeness, can we do this in one stop? No. All right, so for them to feel safe to embrace wholeness, is there a lesson to anchor? A core belief to release? Yep. Other emotions, beliefs, or attitudes? No. Is there drama around that core belief? No. Is it one core belief? Yes. Is this belief in 1 through 20, 1 through 10, 11 through 15, 16, 17, 16. All right. They also have belief number 16, which says, I will never have anything I actually want. I am not good enough. The opposite says, I am tired of holding myself back, getting in the way of receiving the things I choose to have. I'm worthy of having exactly what I ask for, and I'm open to accepting something even better. Now that really hasn't shifted. I might have to read this twice more. I am tired of holding myself back, getting in the way of receiving the things I choose to have. I'm worthy of having exactly what I ask for, and I'm open to accepting something even better. Yeah, not there yet. One more time. I'm tired of holding myself back, getting in the way of receiving the things I choose to have. I am worthy of having exactly what I ask for, and I'm open to accepting something even better. Okay, now that's shifted. Now are these parts safe to embrace wholeness? All right, now for them to actually embrace wholeness, is there a lesson to anchor? A core belief to release? Other emotions release or attitudes to release? Is there drama around any of these? I demand this drama be released and collapse the timeline around. Is there any more drama? Do you have to identify these emotions? Okay, release these emotions on behalf of these parts. Would that have these parts now embraced wholeness? Now, is there anything remaining of this life event that needs to be released? Okay, is the contract now resolved? Release the contract in love and light, filling the void as per the intention. Now again, is there anything residual from this life event? Okay, so now when you think about the life event, has that number gone down any?
Yeah, it has.
Okay, is there still anything left?
No, I feel quite neutral about it. Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you.
There you go. So for whatever reason, your subconscious said that was the most important thing. So I'm thinking that those beliefs were still impacting you, and somehow popping up in your day-to-day, or like within your career, or wherever. So they were important enough that, like I said, the subconscious said, got to get rid of those.
Perfect.
So
Thank you.
there you are. Thank you very much for sticking around to do that for me.
No problem.
Okay.
My pleasure.
So that's it for today's show. Thanks again for being here, and I guess we will just see you next week. Bye for now.
Bye.